So what I'd like to do is I'd like to bring up our first speaker today. He is the owner and creator of the KPN Group and Kevin Makes Sense brand. He's an author, creator, director, and producer. He's an accomplished speaker and presenter, and in 2012 he became a best-selling author with the book The Secret to Winning Big, which was co-authored with Brian Tracy and hit 5 bestseller lists on Amazon. If you guys could give a big round of applause for Mr. Kevin Neff.
Thank you. Hey everyone, I feel like I just met you a little bit ago because I did. I want to tell you all that I'm actually not supposed to be here. I was actually supposed to be in Phoenix, Arizona right now with a multi-million-dollar marketer, Suzanne Evans, and a best-selling author, Larry Winget. But this opportunity presented itself literally last minute. And like in life, many times we get opportunities, and I couldn't pass this one up to be here at the High Point University. And I'm really excited about that. What I hope to do is inspire and motivate some, if not all of you. You see, I'm hoping that some, if not all of you, will inspire me. Because inspiration in my line of work is my lifeline. Without inspiration, there's no creativity. And if there's no creativity, there's no food on Kevin's table, and Kevin liked to eat some. I talked to some of you all before, and obviously everybody is either interested in starting or has started some businesses. Is that fair for everybody here now? Well, I hope to leave you today with some suggestions, some tips that you can not only start your own business, but be successful with it in today's business world. Is everybody okay with that? The first thing I want to talk about is your business itself. Now, a lot of the things that I'll tell you, you'll probably think, well, I knew that, or they make sense. Well, I've built an entire career out of my brand, which is simply replacing business and marketing nonsense with common sense. Kevin Makes Sense. And what I want you to understand is with business in today's world, even though it seems very convoluted and complex and with all things going on, what I believe should be taught is that old school should be the new school in business school. We're forgetting some of the basics. We don't have the interpersonal skills anymore. I just left New York City from meeting a lot of media types up there. I was amazed not more people are run over by mass transit, and I'm not like making a joke out of it. I'm blown away. So what you have to understand as a future business owner, or even a current one, how do we get people to pay attention to us? I mean, it's difficult. Have you ever been in a conversation with somebody and the whole time they're just kind of going like this? Nodding and whatnot? Well, think if you're out in the business world where we're getting deluged with information every direction. Anybody been on their news feed today on Facebook or any other social media? Did you get any sponsored ads or boosted posts and you just want to get to your information? Well, that's what you're up against. So hopefully these suggestions will help you. The first one is as simple as this. If I'm a consumer and you're in business, if I don't know of you, I can't do business with you. If I don't know of you, I can't do business with you. Seems pretty simple and straightforward, doesn't it? But a lot of people forget that. They mistake activity for progress and they go through the motions. Everything in today's world, it's got to be for a reason. It's got to be calculated. Even your brand. I had dinner with a lovely associate last night, and I believe some of you all should have my cards right now. Just in handing that to her, it evoked an emotion and a response. We had a 5-minute conversation from my business card. And the next point I want to say is, what is your brand? Is your brand strong? A brand isn't just a logo or a catchy tagline. It's you. You embody your brand. Do you embody your brand? That's what I'd like to ask you. And with all this information noise that I'm talking about, and it's clutter, I call it noise. How do you cut through that? Well, you have a brand. You be a brand. You become a grain of salt in a pepper shaker. How do you like that visual? Pretty good one? Be a grain of salt in a pepper shaker. Be clear and concise and show separation amongst your other competitors, your peers. Make it easy to be seen, heard, and found. That's so important in today's business world. So be a grain of salt in a pepper shaker. And when you do this brand, and like what we did, if you'll see even our own marketing, we don't even mention our company's name, the KPN Group. I think very few people even know our company name except when they're writing those checks out. And that was intentional. I did my own little focus group test. And I had a newsletter that went out and had some interesting information I wanted to share. And there was 3 different ways you could link and go to it. my company name, my brand, and another one I came up with, which is my form of marketing, what we believe in, which is blunt force trauma marketing, which is on the back of the card. It was an afterthought. What amazed me when I looked at the results, 100% of the people that clicked on the three choices I had clicked on blunt force trauma marketing. I'm like, why am I talking about the KPN group? Nobody cares. They just proved it to me. It went away. And every time I hand out a business card now with my brand, I always flip it over and say, this is what put me on the map. This got my first national client, and it immediately evokes a conversation. So don't mistake activity for progress. When it comes to your brand, be topical. Evoke conversation, and you do that through emotion. And one of the best emotions that you can evoke is trust, right? Well, this is something that I've built my growing empire on. And it's simply this, and this you want to remember or write down. It's SWYM-MWYS. SWYM-MWYS. It's simply say what you mean and mean what you say. I'm a simple kid from the country in Ohio. I found out that I'd pretty much been abandoned. I was raised by my grandparents. I went to school and college, and I dropped out after one semester because, quite frankly, I saved them the problem. They were going to throw me out anyways. I didn't have a job. My dad threw me out. I went to a gas station. Found I was good at selling quarts of oil, of all things. And I realized I was blessed with the art of conversation. That took me to levels I could never really even fathom, much when I was sitting like right where you are today. I've been fortunate enough to deal with everybody from mom and pop, brick and mortars, to the Secret Service of the President and everything in between. And when I looked at my life, I said, I've done a lot of cool stuff. I don't really have formal training. There's a lot, if not all of you, are probably sharper than I'll ever be. I'm okay admitting that. I really am. That's why I hope some of you will inspire me today, so when I go back. But the one thing I understood was that my word was all I had. And I practice it diligently each and every day, all day. I believe in under-promising and over-delivering. And this is the simple reason why. The bar has been so lowered in today's business world. With a show of hands, can anybody remember recently where a business, family owner, friend, loved one, maybe faculty member, didn't just do what they said they would do? Does anybody, I can think of 3 things today to myself that's happened to. What if you're a business person? Why this is so important more now than ever is because of this. Your brand should also represent trust. If I come to you and you said you're going to do something or deliver something, or maybe back it up with great customer service, you don't, what am I going to do? What's probably the first thing I'm going to do in this social media crazed world? Go tweet or post about it. 14% of us, we actually trust what people are saying about their business. While 78% of us, we don't really care. You're a sharp-dressed man, but as far as talking about your own business, come on. It's been hype. We know that. We care what everyone else is saying about your business. Social media has given the voiceless a voice, and they use it most of the time to be negative about you. If you have 10 people and 9 love you and 1 doesn't, the 1 will do more to wreak havoc on your brand than 9 combined. Trust me, I know. I've seen it. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Say what you mean and mean what you say. And lastly, think big. Don't accept the status quo. Don't accept you can't, won't, any of those things. Don't worry about what I could have done, what could have been. Worry about what you can do, what could be done, what will be done. You can't change what's behind you, but you can change what's before you. I am the walking, talking proof of that. So if I can do it, I know all of you can do it. Have a business with a brand that can be trusted and that is bigger than life. And like me, you will exceed and succeed. I guarantee it. Thank you.
you.